Hey everybody, Tracy White here, or T. Earl on the UE4 forums, continuing on with this video series. Today we're going to be adding a main menu and a level select menu. I'm going to be covering some stuff or going through some stuff quickly that I did in the previous video, so if you didn't watch the previous video, please go back and watch that. What we created there were some menus for the level specific stuff, like the start menu, the pause menu, and the in-level menu, and showed how to pull some data from our save game, like the best time, the name of the level, and a little message and stuff like that. So main menu is going to be very simple, but creating our level select menu will be the most complicated part here, and I will walk you through that real quick. So real quick, let's look at the three objects that we're going to need for our menu system here. Main menu, a level select menu, and a level select menu button. So main menu is kind of standalone, but the level select menu and level select menu button kind of go hand in hand. Let's take a look at the main menu real quick. Okay, the other thing I did, by the way, is I went through and already input all of the variables that I'm going to be using, and I'll explain those in a minute. All right, main menu is pretty simple. Play and options. We won't be talking about options. That'll be a different video. So play. When we click play, what we want to do is generate a level select menu with some level select buttons on it that are set dynamically based on whether or not the level is completed, unlocked, or not playable. All right, our level select menu is very, very simple. On my menu, I just have a little overlay that holds the text, and then the important part is this vertical scroll box here, and I've called it level list panel. And you can see up here in the details, level list panel is variable. Alright, it's got to be a variable because we're going to be calling on that later. A good way to tell, by the way, is go to your graph and you'll see it in your variable list over here. Alright, next up is our level select menu button. This is very, very simple again. There is a button and a button text. I've named the button level button, which, as you can see in the details, is a variable, and the level button text, which is also a variable. Both very important, especially the text, because we're going to be setting the text number itself, the text itself, and the color of the text. Okay, in the main menu, going to the graph, and we're going to run through these variables real quick. Okay, we've got the menu background, options button, and play button. Don't know why I've got the background as a variable, but whatever. Alright, important things in here are going to be the information we get from our save game, whether the level is complete or unlocked, the name of the level, and then our level index for menu. Now, way back a few videos ago, we went over these different variables in our save game. Level index for menu is a number 1 through however many levels that we have, which are stored in array indexes 0 through whatever. So we're going to have to remember that whenever we mess with using this number to call up various indexes within our array. Okay, and then we have some colors here: green, white, and gray. All of these are slate colors, and they're just preset here in the defaults: a green, a white, and a kind of a dark gray. And then I have another slate color called new text color. Now, the reason these are slate colors is because that's what we're going to use to color the number on our button. It has to be a slate. This is in 4.5, by the way, so it's got to be a slate color. Okay, the other two variables that we have here are our level select main connection, and that is a connection to our level select menu. So that's our main connection to that, and our save game connection. which of course is our connection to our save game that we created way long ago. All right, let's go ahead and jump in on this. I'll show you the easy way. On our play button here, we'll just click on the button, scroll down just like we have on our buttons on the other menus, and add a click event. Okay, well, on the click event, the first thing I want to do is remove my main menu. Now this is on the main menu, and to remove my main menu from the viewport, I just have to add in a remove from viewport node. Target is self, that's the main menu itself, because I want this main menu to go away, and then we'll generate our level select menu. Well, next thing I want to do is check for a saved game. Does save game exist? There's a reason for this. Okay, reaching back again in our brains, a maze save is the name of our save game, and we're going to do a branch off of this. All right. If there is no save game, there's only really one option whenever you click the play button, and that's going to be to play level number 1. So I'm going to open level, and my level 1 is actually called level 001. Okay, so if there's no save game, it's going to open level 1. Now if you remember, whenever a level is open, on the ball pawn BP, if there's no save game, it goes ahead and sets all of the defaults for our save game. So because we don't do that on this the start level here, we're just going to go ahead and open that first level, and then all of our save game defaults will be set if there is no save game. But if there is a save game, we're going to go ahead and load game from slot, because we need the data out of here. A maze save. All right, excuse my kids in the background for talking so loud. Save game connection, I'm going to pull my save game connection here and set it, and then out of there I'm going to do a cast to that save game. So we're going to go ahead and get the save game and cast to our save game, and if you remember, we called it maze save game, and we'll go ahead and tie that in. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to be getting all the variables that we need from our save game and setting them on our local variables here. That's going to be get level completed, get level unlocked, get level index for menu, and get level name. Alright, so we're getting these from our save game, and then we're going to go ahead and set them here on our main menu. So we can just drag off of each of those and set level complete, set level unlock, set level index, and set level name. Alright, I'm kind of like to have things lined up neatly here, so I'm going to go ahead and line them up neatly. Alright, stay with me. This is going to be a long video. There's a lot going on here, but it's going to be really cool in the end. Alright, so now we have set our local variables here. Actually, I don't need to set my level name yet. So we're going to now create the level select menu. Alright, in order to do this, I'm going to have to create some functions. And this is where it gets a little weird, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of work backwards and then tie everything together. So in order to make a unique button and add it to the list, I have to set the button, I have to create the button, and then I have to add it to the list. So we're pretty much going to do it in that order. Alright, well, let's go ahead and do the create button first. So I'm going to go ahead and make these functions here. create button, add level list, and we're going to create level list UI. Alright, so create level list UI is going to create the level itself by adding the level select menu widget to the viewport, but from there we're going to then create the list and then start adding buttons to it. Alright, so in our event graph, let me go back to this, and the first thing we're going to do, since my functions are there, we can go ahead and call them up here. I am going to create level list UI. So that's the first thing. Alright, create level list UI is pretty simple. Get a reference to my player controller. Go to player controller, and we are going to create a widget owned by the player. In our class, we're going to select the level select menu. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we need to set the connection to this. It's going to be used here and in the on the button. So my level select main connection, which again, by the way, whenever you create this variable, whenever you do your variable type, if you just type in, start typing in the name of your UMG widget, this one was called level list, it's called level select, I think, level select menu and menu button. That's how I created the variable. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to set this connection. And then I'm going to add this to the viewport. Add to viewport. And that's my target. Okay, so now I'm going to get all this data, set all these three local variables, and then I'm going to create a level list UI, or call this function that adds my level select menu. If we played this, this is what we would come up with. Level select. And you can't see the vertical scroll box because there's nothing in there. Alright, but that's working so far, which is always awesome. Alright, the next thing we're going to do after we do that is we're going to go ahead and we're going to add our level list and create our button. Now this is a little weird because in our level list we're going to create the button. So that's why I'm going to go ahead and work on my create button function first. So in my create the button function, there's several things that we want to do with the button. We want to be able to pass to the button, and each of these buttons are going to be uniquely spawned within that vertical scroll box. I need to know whether or not the level is complete, whether or not the level is unlocked, what the level number is, and the level name. The other thing we're going to be doing is using our variables to set the color. So on my my input node here for the function, you can see there's just my input node, no return node, but I need information passed into here, so we're going to add inputs to this. Those inputs are going to be is level complete. That is a Boolean array. We're going to add is level unlocked. Did I spell that right? Yep. Again, a Boolean array. And we're going to add the level name. Level name is going to be used to actually open the level. That is still an array. And then the other variable that we're going to pass through here is going to be the level number. Level number is just going to be a integer, and it will not be an array. Okay, so we have our four variables coming in to the create the button, to create the button. All right, on our return node, we're going to need all this information to pass to the button on our level menu button when it's created. So we do need an output node in order to pass all that info. And this is, I'm just going to call it data pass. And this is for variable type an object. So if you just type object, you'll see it right there. So object. Now we have in our return node an object output. All right, much stuff needs to happen here. First thing we're going to do is we're going to create the widget for the button itself. So we're gonna pull our class up here, and it'll be the level select menu button. Again, let me get a reference to player controller, and that's who's going to own this. Awesome. Alright, bunch of stuff that needs to come out of here. One thing that we're going to do first is we're going to pull off our return value here. And remember, I already have these variables on my button. If the variables are not on your button, they're not going to show up whenever you start dragging off the return value node, because it's looking to that button for this stuff. So we're going to look for our, what do we call that? It's the select button. So we're going to get the level button. I'm sorry, we're going to get the text, because that's what we're working with first. Level text. So we're going to get button text. And we're going to bring in, we're going to bring in our level number, and we're going to set it here. No, my bad. We're going to set the level number in here, so we need to drag off the return value and set level button text is what it is. Alright, that button text is going to be this number that we've just input into this function. Alright, okay, from there we need to do a set text. So I'm trying to remember how to do this, and I think if we do a set text off of the text level button text itself, set text, and we use the, again, the text is going to be this level number that we've brought into the function. So whenever I feed this number in here, we're going to get an automatic conversion node, and we'll just drop that here. Alright, so I'm going to select all these and do C for comment, and we'll call this set text on button. Alright, so that's what this little set of functions is going to do. Alright, we're just getting started on this button. The next thing we need to do is we need to pass all these variables into our button that's on this widget here that we're creating. So we gotta pull our is level complete. Sorry, we need to set is level complete. Set is level unlocked, and then we need to set the level name. These are going to be used for the button. Now the reason they're going to be used for the button is because it'll determine whether or not the button is usable or not. Alright, the only other thing that I need to do from here is over in the button we have our connection to the main menu, and that's also got to be set. So we're going to pull this, and we're going to set main menu connection. This is going to be, I'm sorry, it's the level select. Set level select connection main, and it'll be set from this. We're passing the local variable from this widget to the button widget. Okay, So after we set our text, we're going to set level complete, level unlocked, level name, and our connection to the level select main menu there. Alright, one more thing that we're going to be setting, and I'll pull the node out here, but we're going to use it later, and that is going to be the button itself. So we called that, and we're going to get this, by the way, get the level button. Alright, now this is what's going to end up going into our return node. I can go ahead and probably just feed that in there right now. We've still got a lot of stuff to do beforehand. Alright, so when this function runs, we're going to create this the button, we're going to set the text, then we're going to set these variables on that button. We're passing the data into this function, and so we'll just go ahead and use those to set each of these variables on the button widget. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want to create a branch. Well, let's comment this stuff real quick and call it set button variables. Alright, so after the last set, I'm going to pull off here and I'm going to create a branch, and this is where we're going to set the color of the button text. Alright, I need to get a reference to my level complete, so I'm going to get that variable and my level unlocked variable. And since these are arrays and we want to pick a specific index out of these arrays for this specific button that we're creating at the time, we're going to do a get. Now you'll see utilities array get, and this will help us get a index out of the array. So I'm going to do that for both of these. So what index are we going to get? Well, that's pretty easy. We've got the level number coming in here, so we're going to get that. Now remember, our level number starts with 1 and all indexing starts with 0. So I need to take 1 away from this level number, so I'm going to do a minus 1. So we're doing a minus 1. And we'll go ahead and that's how we're going to get the values for the specific buttons as they're created. Alright, so we're going to check, is the level complete? Yes or no? So that's the first thing we're going to ask. If it's not complete, we're going to ask another true-false question. Is the level unlocked? Alright, those are our conditions. Let's go ahead and pull in our green, get our green, get our white, and get our gray texts. And then our new text color we're going to set either green, white. I'm going to Control C, Control V for copy paste, Control V another one. So we're either going to set it green, white, or this dark gray color based on whether or not it's complete or not. So if the level is complete, let's set the text to green. If it's not complete but it's unlocked, which means it's the level after the last one completed, then we'll go ahead and set the text to white. If it's neither one of those, we'll go ahead and gray it out, so it's like saying yeah, I'm not usable. Alright, so after this is set, I'm going to go ahead and drag out new text color and get a reference to that. And then what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting the slate color of this way back up here that we took off of our return value from our level select menu button. It's our button text. So I'm going to pull this out and we're going to put it over here, hopefully, and we're going to set color and opacity. feed our execution nodes straight into there, and our new text color that we have just set. All that is set and goes into our return node, and we're setting our button object as well. That's all the data that's on there, and that is, I'm going to comment this and say set button text color. Alright, so that should do it for our create button function. Alright, once again, whenever this function is called, it's going to create a button. It's going to add this widget. It's going to set the text color. It is going to then set some variables on that button. It is also going to set the color of the text on the button. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do add the level list itself. And this is a function that will call the create button function. So like I said, it's kind of working backwards, but that's okay. Alright, so add level list, input, we're going to need to create some inputs, and really all I need from here is a level name. This is a name, and it is an array. I also need our is level complete, and that's a Boolean array, and then one more is level unlocked. Locked. Spell correctly, please. Alright, so that is all I need in my input nodes, and then I think I don't need any output nodes for this particular function. Alright, so I'm going to get my variable level index for menu, and what I'm going to do whenever we fire this function off, what I need to do is I need to do a for each loop. So for each loop, and my array is here, so for each index in this array, this loop is going to run. What we're going to do is we're going to call that create button function that we just made. So create, I need to compile this, don't I? So I need to call this function called create button. Alright, so out of my for each loop, from my array element is going to be my level number that I'm passing in there, and then of course my level name is level complete and is level unlocked. It's going to be passed through. Okay, so for each of index in this array, we're going to go and create that button. When that button is created and that data is passed back into this function, we're going to go ahead and create a widget, or a cast to widget. So we need to cast to widget, and I need a reference to my level select menu here. So we'll get that, and then out of here we're going to get our level list panel. That's why level list panel is a variable, if you remember, in our level select menu. So I'm going to get the level list panel, and what we're going to do on that is we're going to pull off an add child. Alright, so what's going on here once again is for each index in this level. Now right now we only have 5, but eventually I want to have like 100 levels because it's going to be fun, right? So for each index in this array, it's going to hit this loop, going to go create a button where it sets the text, sets the variables on the button, and sets the color of the text on the button. We cast it to a widget and add it as a child to our level list panel on our level select main menu. Hopefully you got all that. Let's go back to our event graph. So after we've created our level list UI, that's, remember whenever we did the added the actual level select menu to the viewport, we now want to go ahead and call the function for adding the level list. So off of here, we'll go ahead and add level list. And you can see, of course, that has a need for some inputs here. The level name will feed straight here, and I can pull these from here, but I think it's going to be ugly, so let me just go ahead and get them from here so it's nice and pretty. Level complete, level unlocked. All right, I think we're there. So let's take a look. When we hit play, it should bring up create these buttons for the level. Green means they've been played before. White means it hadn't been played but you can. And of course the grayed out ones means that they're locked and you can't play them yet. Of course, clicking any of these does nothing because we haven't really done anything to the button. So now we go to the button and we get to tell the button what to do. Alright, so let's see here. We need to go to our designer, select our button, and add on clicked event. Alright, so first thing we want to do whenever we click this button is to see if we can actually click the button. So we're going to do a branch. Now remember, we got all these new variables that we just got whenever the button was created. So each button is unique based on the array data that was passed to it when it was created. So I need to get my level button text. Remember, level button text is always one above the actual index of the array. And then I need to know if my level is unlocked. So I'm going to get my level unlocked. So I need to get the array index of this particular button, which is going to be my level button text -1, just like we did a while ago. So we'll do integer minus integer. Alright. If it is unlocked, we're going to do stuff. If it's not unlocked, we're not going to do anything. Alright, so if it is unlocked, we're going to open a level, and that level is going to be our level name. That's assigned to this specific button whenever it's made. So of course this is an array, so we'll have to get, and we'll just use this same indexing, and that's the name of the level that will be opened. Remember, when we created our save game data, all the defaults for level name are the actual names of the levels that are going to be used within the game. There's one other thing that I need to do here, and I need to create a little function for this, and that's we need to remove this level select menu. So I'm going to add a function, and we're going to call it remove level select menu. Okay, and basically all I need to do here is pull in the connection to the level select main menu, and I'm going to ask if this is valid. Alright, if it's not valid, well, we can't do anything because nothing's going to work anyway. But if it is, what I need to do is I need to get the level list panel, and I need to remove child. Alright, so if it's valid, it's going to, when the button's clicked, I'm going to check to see if it's clickable, and if it is, we'll fire off this. This is the owner of this, by the way. And then we'll go ahead and remove this self from viewport. um, level select menu, and that should be it. Okay, so when it's clicked, see if it's unlocked. If it is, we'll go ahead and let you click it and it'll open a menu, but we need to run this remove from level select menu. Okay, so now whenever we start our game, we'll have our main menu. Click play, creates a level select menu. I can't click 4 or 5 because they haven't been unlocked. I can click 1, 2, or 3 because they have been. Let's just click number 1. So this should open level 1. And it does. Works great. Listen guys, I know this was a long video. If anybody has any questions or comments on this, please just leave it in the comments section or find me T-E-A-R-L, T-Earl, on the UE4 forums and send me a private message. Next time we're going to be looking at some options for our options menu, and then we're going to add some fun particle stuff after that, and then wrap up publishing our game. Thanks for watching.